Who's ready for a fun day?
And it's 8:21. I'm ready to jump in a tar pit, according to my watch.
I can't wait to see you covered in tar. I can hear everybody packing up in the other room for a fun day in Los Angeles. Let's see what's going on.
Oh, we're gonna cut that.
Come on.
Okay, we try to be healthy, but there are days where it's kind of, we have to act like we're on vacation. So today's Saturday, typical day here in Los Angeles. Everything that we're doing is pretty close. It's in Los Angeles. There's so much to do here.
But even so, the city's huge, so it's important that master planner puts together the geography. So we've got a board which will show you all of our goals, for each leg. So here we've got, 20 or so. So she picked the ones that on the map.
Geographically close together. Today happens to be Free Museum Day. Now I'm a museum person. I like art, I like history, but there's only so much of that the children can take at a time.
What about you and your family? Are you guys museum people? Are you more like sit on the beach people? What's your adventure? We're curious, so put it in the comments for us.
But today, museums that would normally be about $25 are free. So although we might be there very briefly, we are going to go ahead and go to LACMA, Los Angeles County Museum of Art. This is what I looked up to find what I needed to find. freemuseumday.org. I don't know if they have it in every city, but you can look up, for example, California Science Center. It's free all the time. The Getty Museum, free always. Los Angeles is great in the fact that they have a lot to offer families, kids, for free, just like St. Louis. It's great. It's just like home. There's a couple of museums, for example, the Broad, the Getty Villa, that you still need tickets for. They're free, but you need reservations. They just like to manage the number of people that come in and out. But today we're going to LACMA. It's typically not free. We're also going to go to the La Brea Tar Pits. They are, part of that is free, the other part not, except for today.
It's supposed to be 73 today, nothing new there in Southern Cal. So we've got perfect weather and everybody's cold and flu free, so we are ready to
head out. Let's go. Another house without any trauma. We have our camera. Hopefully they'll let us in with it. Got those babies there. They're not really babies. We just like to treat them as such. Where are we today?
I don't know.
Mocha. Oh, LACMA.
Los Angeles is really big on acronyms. Really.
So this is the largest collection of art where?
In the West. We're in the wild, wild west. So far, what's the impression?
I like the art. It's fun. I love the giant elevator. That was hilarious. I'm gonna get home and be in the elevator going up to the floor and be like, why is this so tiny? I'm so
Be
cringed out.
claustrophobic.
Yeah. I can't wait to see the tar pits.
Kate,
What?
did you like the art? No.
I don't.
None of it? What about the Fiji art?
I like the Moana part.
Yeah, the boat. Was that cool? Would you like to ride on a boat like that? Oh, you can run and play. I have to admit, when somebody said, go see the La Brea tar pits, I'm like, that does not sound like fun. But it's actually a beautiful place with
I really like to get back home.
except for 6-year-olds. They're uncovering new bones every day. So it's an active archaeological dig. They have fantastic artifacts of mammoths, of animals I've never even seen or heard of before. Really, really interactive. Helpful staff that teach you about what you're seeing. And we just started. We just got into the museum, so it's kind of wild to see these animals that are so gigantic. These skeletons are so mammoth. LA is so gigantic. And I just want to thank you for being here and coming to yet another museum. But trust me, there's a method to our madness, because as we have been living in the city, we have to get out, and among sickness and boundaries that we have because of the ages of our children, we have just taken in what has made the most sense to us. Today we thought we would talk a little bit about the difficulties of transition, because we transition a lot and it gets tiring, but you don't have to be traveling full time to be going through a transition with families. So we thought we would maybe shed some light on how we cope with transition with a big family.
You
So-
just need some strategies. It's not that we're exceptional travelers or amazing parents. Well, I mean,
Just kidding. No, we're not. We just have strategies, and we mess up, and we learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
But here's what we've learned.
Yeah, so we have basically 7 points we want to share with you. 7's our magic number today. So
Yeah.
the first thing that has helped us to thrive in the midst of all the transition is finding other families who travel. Other families who have shortcuts, tips, tricks, whether it's managing a rig like we did in the Northeast. We're not managing a rig right now, or a truck, or hauling, or life in a campsite. So many new things, or now it's the Airbnb or apartment model for us.
Which we found other families in our apartment, which is great.
With Dee being a travel nurse, she naturally networks with other families, other nurses, managers who have kids. And so you pick up on what is local, what is important, what is going to be fun for kids. And so that networking is pretty key. So at a campsite, it's easy. It's one way to connect. In an apartment complex or an Airbnb, you have to find other ways to connect with other families who are traveling. So.
But we've never met strangers, so we're good to go. All right, tip 2. Give each other some grace. As you are transitioning, your 2-year-old is going to be screaming at the top of her lungs. Things are just not the norm, and it doesn't mean that you are a bad parent. There is just going to be bumps that you have to deal with, and you have to say, okay, my 10-year-old really didn't behave or react the best way to his brothers and sisters, but we're transitioning, and I'm going to give him a little bit of grace.
But we're not naming any names here. Good cop, bad cop works too. So I'll be the bad guy.
Really?
Yeah, right?
That's just natural for us. He's always the bad guy.
I'll be the heavy, and we know we're going to bend, All right, tip number 3. While we know we're going to bend, some rules are non-negotiable. We recognize that our kids need routine because things get a little crazy without it. So things like bedtime and prayer and meals. So recently, in the last couple of months, I've locked down my own nutrition. Eating well has always been a goal, but even so, more recently, we've locked down meal times. So breakfast is between 8 and 9, lunch is between 12 and 1, and dinner is between 6 and 7.
And really, it's what you eat too. When you're traveling, there's always fantastic restaurants to try. Everyone has a suggestion for you as to where's the best seafood, where's the best sushi, where's the best whatever.
A little coffee date this morning for breakfast. Got a little place called Brazil Kiss right in our building. Time for some video editing and just good conversation.
We really need to make sure that those boundaries, those rules, those non-negotiables are made. The kids know that we have expectations, and that gives them a sense of security, and it works. So this next one is something we have used forever. It's establish a goal or an event to anticipate, to look forward to down the road, because everybody loves a countdown, whether it's to run a 5K or travel home for Christmas or go to Disney World or Hawaii or I don't know, name some others.
Yeah, pick a goal. Victoria Falls, do a mission trip.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
All these goals, the whole family can look forward to. And it does work when when you've had a funky night, when everybody's kind of doesn't like dinner and they don't want to go to bed and it's just been kind of a yuck day, whether it's raining outside or attitudes are lacking. All you have to do is start talking about that goal and how they're going to prepare. Are they ready? What do they need to do to anticipate that? And the mood just skyrockets.
It's true.
So it's kind of it's a benefit without spending money, without eating sugar. It's just changing those attitudes, turning them 180.
Just refocus. Just a good job on tip 4. Tip 5 is don't forget who you are. So some traditions are key. We're constantly in transition, but we always have Sunday movie night, if at all possible for us. And that might be a snack moment, one time a week.
Yeah, that's it. One time. Cauliflower crust.
That's it. But for us, a part of our routine now is weekend adventure. But we don't ever forget Holy Mass. That's something critical for us, either on Saturday or Sunday. We're going to build our weekend around that prayer time. We're not going to forget who we are, even though we're on this crazy adventure. So there are certain things that stay in the schedule, and they help everyone remember where we came from, where we're going, and we don't lose sight.
You know, because one thing, you can have a trip to Niagara Falls planned, you can have a trip to Disney World planned. It doesn't matter where our family is. Oh, it's Sunday night. It's movie night.
Yeah.
We gotta get back by 6 o'clock. We gotta go cook the pizzas.
Or as Mercy says, Moofy
night. So it's important to the kids because it's that precious family time, and no journey is worth it unless you have that bond with your family.
So that's tip 5.
Tip 6, transition is stressful. How do you deal with that? Get them outside. Get them to do something that's important to them, whether it's surfing on the beach, skateboarding at Venice Beach, or get them to go look forward to another outlet. We have some exciting things coming up for the kids, and they're anticipating that. It's another outlet, just anything, drawing, art, acting, swimming.
We made it to Venice Beach just the other day, and the kids had a blast. It was gorgeous. I had no idea. You knew what we were walking into. You had to work, but it must have been 10,000 people out on a weekend. You know,
it was a ton.
It was nuts. And the boys have been looking forward to the skate park so much, and because we did one when we were on the East Coast, and it didn't disappoint, but it was
crazy.
It was crowded, you know, but they had a great time. We can't wait to go back to Venice Beach. It's not very far.
So make sure your kids have an outlet to shed some of that stress, and you too. That's important.
Tip number 7. Everything is a season. So for us in the Northeast, RVing was a season that we may get back to, we may not. More news on that coming soon, but for now we're in an Airbnb model or apartments. And
I forgot the room.
Just bought 8-foot pool.
for us, downtown LA is a season, and it's crazy and a little bit stressful and maybe not the most family friendly.
We've learned we are not city folk. It's good to visit, it's good for a short time, but not family friendly.
We enjoyed walking to the farmer's market, walking to the grocery store, you know, getting out and learning a little bit, but it's just not a lot for the kids to do. And so we're shopping around. So in this episode, we're sharing with you our journey westward from downtown LA. We have to stay within range for Dee's job at the hospital, but there's some coastal towns we're going to check out. So little car footage and
we're ready for a new season.
Yeah.
So
how about you? If you could live on the beach, would you? So we're going to check out some apartments on the sand and see if we can't find something that fits our family a little better than downtown Los Angeles. Hanging out in Pacific Palisades today, 75 degrees. We are at a playground shooting some baskets. We're looking at an Airbnb, possibly moving out of our high-rise downtown to get some more green time. You're doing great with that dribbling. Look at you. You're amazing. Anyway, we're hoping this Airbnb works out, save a little money, and get outside more, play more. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted.
Thanks for joining us this week.
Thanks for listening to a couple of our coping mechanisms as we move through transition with family. We do that a lot. We want to hear from you. What are some of your coping mechanisms? And maybe you can help us.
Yeah. What's your strategy when dealing with change or stress? Let us know.
We have some exciting changes coming up, so tune in next week.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
These are our 7 tips we've come up with that help us in transition. We focus on...
The noise. Okay,
Oh.
we cannot get it right. What helps you transition with your family when you are in
What helps you with the process of the process? That's what I need to know. Because the process has a process. And
It's all about process. You have to trust the process of the process.
how do you transition in
You are-
transition? You need a transitioner to help you transition in your transition? Because transitioning can be transitional. And around Los Angeles, we shared with you a little bit about opportunities that we use to augment our... We're never going to make it. You need to go take a Valium and come back.
How many words can we throw in there? I need a thesaurus.
Our 3-year-old's going to transition right through that glass.
Okay, could we just go? Thank you for joining us. We have to wrap this up because we can't do any more outtakes. What helps you transition with your family? Wait, go. Shoot.
I'll take over.